I fixed the faucet on the yacht, and my son-in-law sneered at me, saying, "Handymen don't belong here." He ridiculed me, viewing me as a pitiful retiree on a rented boat, pretending to be wealthy. Then I stared him right in the eyes and declared, "This is my yacht." Their faces were absolutely priceless. You won't believe what happened next. Before we go on, please subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you're tuning in from. The brass hardware gleamed in the afternoon sun like scattered treasures across the yacht's spotless deck. I stood by the railing of the Tranquility, hands folded behind my back, observing my family as they approached the dock. The Miami harbor extended out ahead, a sea of masts rocking softly in the June wind. My heart pounded heavily against my chest. 2 months of careful preparation had brought us to this point. Michael boarded first, his fancy loafers tapping on the oak deck. His gaze scanned the yacht's full length, absorbing the shiny metal, the plush seating under the awning, the advanced navigation gear shining in the control room. His mouth fell open briefly before his usual grin reappeared. Well, he remarked, sliding his well-groomed hand over the smooth leather of the primary lounge area. "How on earth did you manage this floating mansion?" "John." The words struck me like a blow. Not Dad. Not even John. Always John. Spoken with that specific disdain that turned my name into something unpleasant. Emily came aboard next, her luxury purse pressed to her chest. She looked around anxiously, her face turning red. "Dad, please say you didn't spend all your retirement money on this." Her tone held that well-known hint of shame I'd come to fear. "It's stunning." "Mr. Harrison," Elizabeth said kindly, Robert nodding as they stepped onto the deck. "Thanks for having us." Michael was already poking around, his fingers tracing the console as if it were his. "This navigation setup by itself is worth more than most folks earn annually." "Good Lord, John, what were you thinking?" He chuckled, but without any real amusement, acting like a yacht club elite at your age. My chest constricted. I'd practiced this scene many times, picturing Emily's delight at the reveal. Instead, I saw her twisting her bag strap, dodging my gaze. "I figured it would be great for the family to bond," I said, keeping my tone even amid the inner turmoil. "Bond on what your late-life splurge." Michael popped open a compartment, inspecting it like he was valuing stock. I understand. You want to seem accomplished, but this is downright humiliating. How much debt did you rack up for this dream?" Emily lightly touched his arm. "Michael, perhaps—" "No, darling, this is worrisome." He faced me squarely, arms folded. "Your father's obviously made some dubious money choices. We ought to discuss handling his finances before he squanders it all." The phrase lingered in the salty breeze like venom. Handling his finances, as though I were a foolish elder who'd wandered into a yacht showroom with plastic. "The leasing firm confirmed everything was set," I stated cautiously, holding my composure. The falsehood tasted sour, but it was essential for the moment. "Leased," Michael's brows arched. "That's a bit less crazy, though still absurd for someone on pension checks." My fists tightened behind me. Pension checks. I'd founded 3 businesses from scratch, sold them for amounts he couldn't grasp, invested smartly for years. But I wore slacks and button-downs, drove a simple car, lived in my modest home. To Michael. That equaled poverty. "Why not check out the lower level I proposed, craving a moment to collect myself? I'll get some drinks ready. Come on." "Love," Michael told Emily, heading to the cabin door. "Let's see how much your dad blew on his boat escapade." They vanished below, Michael's words echoing up. "Look at this granite counter. Unbelievable. Your dad's totally off the rails." Emily's uneasy chuckle trailed after. Robert came to me softly. It's truly splendid, John. The workmanship is outstanding. I nodded, thankful for his warmth, but scarcely registering it. From below came Michael's cabinet slamming, his ongoing critique of shock and scorn. Each comment pricked like a thorn. Elizabeth joined her husband in touring while I stayed topside, clutching the brass rail till my knuckles paled. The soft waves slapped the hull, but all I heard was Michael's laughter rising from the main salon, then Emily's voice. He must have shelled out a ton for this lease. It's so out of character, out of character. My daughter talking about me like a stranger with sudden grand illusions. The sun glared too harshly. The wind chilled too much. I gazed at the harbor, seeing other families on their vessels, and questioned if this was a grave error. But no, I'd orchestrated this flawlessly. They simply didn't get it yet. More chuckles from below, and my jaw locked tight. The brass compass by the control room drew my eye, its shiny face mirroring the afternoon glow. I touched it lightly, recalling another time. Another instant when I'd felt that same compass and known only sheer happiness. 2 months back, April 15th, I stood in the display area at Ocean Elite Yachts, in my finest suit, the one saved for big events. The salesman, a sleek young guy named Alex, walked me through the Tranquility's details for the 3rd time that week. The primary suite has a king bed and full bath, Alex described, his manner expert yet friendly. The visitor room has bunks that shift to a queen, ideal for family outings. I nodded, envisioning Michael and Emily's reactions to their private space. The yacht spanned 50 feet of immaculate fiberglass and steel, every part shining under the showroom lamps. I traced the same brass compass, thinking of showing future grandkids how to steer by stars. "And you're sure on the payment options?" I inquired, though I'd already chosen. The $3.5 million check waited in my coat pocket, from an account Michael couldn't fathom. "Definitely. Mr. Harrison, full cash today means quick delivery post-safety check and paperwork." Alex grinned. "Your family will adore this treat. My family, I'd been scheming this since Emily's birthday last month when she spoke of missing our old boating trips. I wish we could just sail away somewhere," she'd said, seeming worn from Michael's endless gripes about their money. Here was the fix, a drifting haven to mend our ties away from Michael's constant belittling. I'd even scouted family routes along the Florida Keys coast, dreaming of weekends where Emily could rediscover her passion for the sea. I'd like some custom editions, I told Alex, family pictures in the main salon, perhaps a stereo for meals. Of course, we can work with our design crew. I signed the documents steadily, excitement mounting with each stroke. This wasn't merely a yacht buy, it was a stake in reconciliation. The funds stemmed from Susan's life insurance, savings I'd held for something profound. What could be deeper than reclaiming my daughter Alex gave me the keys. 2 tiny metal bits symbolizing months of meticulous setup. "Taking it today." "Next month?" I replied, "I want to present it as leased first, then unveil the truth mid-trip." The plan had appeared genius. Let them savor the yacht, sans the weight of its price. Then disclose the present once they loved it. I'd pictured Emily's joyful tears, her thanks, even Michael's reluctant admiration. Standing there with those keys, I'd felt more optimistic than in ages. My simple life had done its job. Everyone undervalued my means. The shock would be total, would be. "Your daughter will be so proud," Alex had remarked, clasping my hand. Proud. Yes, I'd envisioned that too. Back to now. I opened my eyes, the recollection fading like dawn haze. The harbor lay unchanged, but all seemed altered. Below, Michael's voice persisted, muffled by space and wood. Footsteps neared on the oak deck behind me. I squared my shoulders, sensing a shift deep in my core. The optimism that fueled 2 months of prep was hardening into something colder, firmer. The giving father who'd inked those papers in April was gaining a harsh insight on thankfulness. I turned as my family surfaced from below. Michael's face was red with what I now saw as scornful fun. The brass compass gleamed again, but now it evoked something wholly different. Steering demanded knowing your precise position before charting a path. John, this is utterly magnificent. Robert's words held true appreciation as he climbed from the yacht stairs, his seasoned executive hands gliding along the varnished rail. The build quality is remarkable. You've picked something really exceptional. His praise soothed like balm on a wound. I stood taller, loosening my tight hold on the brass rail. Elizabeth trailed him, her gray hair catching the afternoon rays, eyes sparkling with honest wonder. The paneling below is gorgeous, she added, adjusting her thin sweater over her shoulders. That walnut dining table, it's like a gallery piece. Michael scoffed. Emerging behind his parents with Emily nearby? Yeah. Well, when you're splashing cash on a lease, why not go overboard? Right. He swept his arm at the yacht's shining features. Dad likely dropped more on this getaway than John pulls in half a year. The jab landed like a punch. Robert tensed subtly, while Elizabeth's smile dipped momentarily. Emily let out that anxious laugh I'd learned to loathe, the noise cutting against the mild wave sounds. Michael, Robert said softly. But his son was already striding past, fingering the steel fittings like appraising goods. Check this audio setup, Michael went on, pressing controls on the media panel. State of the art. The lease folks probably tack on fees for each bell and whistle. What's this running you? John, $3,000 for the weekend, 4. My jaw locked. $4,000 wouldn't touch the monthly birth costs. It's lovely, Dad, Emily said, but her voice had that known edge of concerned humiliation. Though maybe next time something more sensible. More sensible. Like putt-putt golf or a franchise eatery, something fittingly humble for her father's supposed status. Shall we go below for a meal, I offered, my tone firm despite the brewing rage inside. A meal on the yacht, Michael clapped sarcastically. Living large? John. Shame it's only temporary. Robert's scowl deepened as we headed to the lounging entry. I guided them down the short steps into the primary salon, the walnut dining table shining under gentle ceiling lights. The arrangement was ideal fine porcelain, glassware, silverware set with exact care. Everything I'd arranged to make this special. Oh dear, Elizabeth sighed, eyeing the refined setup. John, this is charming. You've put in so much effort. No effort, really, I answered, seating the women. Elizabeth settled elegantly, while Emily sat edgily on her chair's rim. Michael stayed upright, eyeing the integrated bar with clear envy. Stocked full, I noticed. High-end labels. He raised a bottle of vintage whiskey, scanning the tag. This single bottle likely tops most comments. Michael, Robert said more sternly now, but I'm merely savoring the luxuries. Michael's grin was razor sharp. Not all get to act rich for a few days. The statement hovered like haze. Elizabeth fussed with her napkin while Robert eyed his son with rising disapproval. Emily's cheeks reddened, stuck between backing her spouse and regretting him. I dished out the food routinely seared tuna, baked veggies, a light red wine pricier than Michael guessed, each serving placed precisely while my thoughts swirled with showroom memories. Alex's supportive talk, my foolish hope this present would close the widening gap with my daughter. This is tasty, Robert commented, aiming to bring back politeness. Dad's always been skilled in the kitchen. Emily murmured. Yeah, well, with endless free time and zero duties. Michael's words faded pointedly as he sliced his tuna. Retirement sounds easy. No burdens, no need to support anyone. My fork shook faintly. No need to support. I'd supported for 3 decades, built firms from zero, amassed riches beyond his ken. Now I was presenting my prized asset, this seafaring retreat bought with my dear Susan's legacy, and getting only disdain back. Michael, Robert's tone warned firmly. Maybe what? Dad. Michael glanced up from his dish, eyes flashing defiance. I'm simply chatting. Isn't that family dining for the quiet pulled tight as a string? Elizabeth grabbed her wine with quivering fingers. Emily gazed at her meal like it offered refuge. Robert's jaw moved wordlessly. A dad seeing his son as unfamiliar. And I presided at my $3.5 million table's head, feeding my thankless kin a repast they'd never value. Sensing something icy and strategic form in my heart where affection once dwelled. Michael lifted his glass in fake salute. To family escapades we can't fund. The ting of Michael's glass on the table signaled the close of polite facade. Robert placed his fork down with intent sharpness, the clang keen in the abrupt hush. Elizabeth's hand shook, reaching for her water. Enough. My words sliced the strain like a knife through fabric. You will cease this conduct at once. Michael's brows rose in staged shock. Conduct. I'm only being truthful about the facts. Someone here should face truth. The truth, I replied, each syllable weighed and managed, is you're a visitor on this yacht. You will display proper regard, or depart. Emily's sharp breath was clear. She had never heard me address Michael so resolutely. Neither had Michael, from how his grin wavered briefly before snapping back. Visitor Michael laughed, but it rang forced. Come on, John. We're kin. Can't I voice worry over your money? Moves. Your worry, I countered, laying my tools down precisely. Rings more like ridicule. Robert coughed awkwardly. Son, maybe we should what Michael's pitch climbed a bit, his poise fracturing. Act like John's not making bad calls. Act like this yacht lease isn't far past his reach. He motioned around the stylish salon. View this spot. The lease charges alone could stock his pantry for months. His eyes showed raw figuring now, weighing expense against my assumed value, deeming me sorely lacking. He reclined in his seat, arms crossed, the image of haughty dominance. I started a thriving tech advisory firm from zilch. He pressed, his tone building assurance. I grasp cash, grasp worth. And this? He dismissed the glass and porcelain. This is somebody aiming for a tier he doesn't fit. Elizabeth blanched. Robert's knuckles whitened on his napkin. Even they recognized their son had breached an irreversible boundary. But Emily, my daughter, dipped her head faintly, a small gesture, hardly noticeable, but I spotted it. She concurred. After all my sacrifices, all my gifts, she viewed me via his lens, a sad senior faking riches he lacked. The disloyalty struck deeper than Michael's barbs, I believe. I said, my voice lethally soft. We should step away from this table. Michael's laugh cracked like shattering crystal. Step away from the leased yacht. He rose suddenly, chair grating the floor. Maybe I will. The atmosphere feels stuffy now. He headed to the stairs for the deck, halting at the edge. Don't fret cleanup, John. I'm certain the lease firm has staff for it. Wouldn't want you overexerting. His steps resounded on the deck overhead, intentionally loud, asserting turf not his. The salon quieted, save the yacht's mild groaning at its ties. Robert broke the silence, his voice laden with mortification. John, I regret this. That was utterly unacceptable, unforgivable. Elizabeth appended, her eyes glistening with tears. I don't know what's possessed him. Emily stayed mute, eyeing her uneaten tuna like it concealed cosmic truths. When she finally raised her gaze, her eyes defended. He's just guarding family funds, she whispered. We've been eyeing a home and cash is scarce and witnessing this. She waved vaguely at the salon. It's tough to grasp the focuses. The focuses. My focus had been forging a memory, a present, a link back to the daughter I was losing. Her focus was upholding her husband's cozy myths of his supremacy. I rose gradually, collecting dishes with firm hands, despite the quake in my heart. Of course, I comprehend fully, but I comprehended more than she knew. I comprehended that my open-hearted father's spirit had been innocent, that affection couldn't conquer disdain, that esteem couldn't be purchased with offerings. I also comprehended that Michael had just committed his life's worst blunder. From topside came cabinet noises, Michael probing spots he shouldn't, settling in on what he deemed another's yacht. The humor would have tickled if not so maddening. I'll straighten up, I stated, piling plates methodically. Why not all savor the afternoon breeze on deck as they exited, leaving me with the wreckage of my planned feast? I permitted one instant of pure, clear fury. Then I started scheming. Michael sought to toy with someone he deemed inferior. He was poised to learn how mistaken he could be. The echo of Michael's steps faded across the deck above, each one purposeful and heavy with bruised ego. I kept stacking plates with routine accuracy, but my thoughts raced. That expression in his eyes when he left the table, I'd seen it in meetings when lesser folks realized they'd been bested. I should likely see to him, Emily murmured, half standing. Let him settle, Robert counseled, his words heavy with fatherly letdown. He needs to ponder his actions. Elizabeth touched my hand across the table. John, I'm terribly sorry. I don't know what's overtaken him recently, but I knew Michael couldn't stand correction, especially before his folks. Such men didn't heed limits. They probed them, shoved them, skirted them, topsides. His steps halted. Then a faint door sound. The visitor bath, maybe. Or he was delving into forbidden areas. He's facing heavy work pressure, Emily offered feebly. The advisory trade is cutthroat. Robert's look implied he bought her defenses no more than I did. Pressure excuses no disrespect to your host. I tuned in closely to the overhead noises. Water briefly, cabinets again, a mild metal scrape. Michael was certainly delving. Handling items, claiming ground. Shall we shift to deck for coffee? Elizabeth proposed cheerily, hoping to lighten the mood. The climate is delightful. Fine plan. I concurred. Though my focus stayed on Michael's subtle shifts, something in his probing now felt intentional, not mere curiosity, more metal noises, a light grinding that made me freeze with glasses in hand. That wasn't casual browsing. Dad, Emily's voice seemed distant. You okay, fine? I responded mechanically, setting glasses down gingerly. The grinding ceased, swapped for a soft cabinet shut. Michael's steps restarted above, heading back to main deck. Moments later, he showed at the stairs' top, seeming wholly collected, if anything, more at ease than when he departed. Sorry for that, he said, resuming his seat with a mild smile. Just needed a second to value the build. This is a remarkable vessel. The total flip in his manner triggered alarms in me. Michael didn't apologize. Michael didn't concede error. And Michael surely didn't praise what he'd mocked minutes prior. Feeling improved, Robert queried warily. Much. Michael took his water glass, appearing notably content. Actually, I thought I might aid with tidying. Least I can do after... Well, you know, Emily's expression lit up. That's kind, dear. But I was scrutinizing Michael's look, noting his eyes evading mine, the slight mouth curve hinting private triumph over true regret. I rose slowly, every sense yelling something amiss. Why not all head to deck first? Dishes can hold… Oh, come on. John, Michael's smile shone like buffed steel. Let me amend for being such a jerk before I demand it. He was already advancing to the kitchen zone, and I trailed, pulled by a dreadful surety I'd soon uncover what those metal sounds meant. See? Michael called brightly from the kitchen, his voice bearing that phony cheer I now knew as his giveaway. Everything's absolutely… Oh. The word fell like a rock into calm water. Oh, what Emily asked. Joining him. I was already passing her. A chill settling in my gut like winter mist. Michael stood at the kitchen sink, hand stuck on the faucet lever, water gushing wildly from the tap. It appears jammed, he said, yanking the lever with staged strain. Won't shut right. Must be one of those odd old boat glitches. But I eyed the faucet base where the steel showed new scrapes. Deep marks absent that morning when I'd made coffee. Scratches only from someone using brute force or wrong gear. Let me check, I said softly, shifting Michael aside. The lever moved rigidly under my hold, the inner works grinding in a manner indicating harmed components. This wasn't normal wear, not even rough handling. This was intentional ruin masked as mishap. Likely just needs lubricant. Michael proposed aidfully. These C-fittings endure abuse. I knelt for closer inspection, fingers along the scraped steel. The marks matched plier grips. Someone had clamped the faucet hard, twisting till it yielded inside. Dad. Can you mend it? Emily asked, real worry in her tone. It's surely damaged, I said, rising gradually. The inner valve setup is wrecked. Michael nodded with sympathy. Lease gear, you know, likely roughed by prior users. Good it occurred now, not overnight. His easy explanation, swiftly blaming fictional past renters, affirmed what I sensed. But challenging him here before all would just spark a row. I should reach the harbor office, I said prudently. See about a fix tech on a Saturday. Michael shook his head. Luck with that. Might be stuck till Monday. The thinly veiled glee in his voice made my fists ball unwittingly. He relished this. Not merely the hassle he'd made, but the chance to act the supportive kin while I handled lease woes. Robert neared, eyeing the faucet with an executive's detail eye. That's strange. The harm looks nearly purposeful. Michael's smile held. Sea air wrecks these parts, likely rusting for months. But Robert frowned now, his engineering past making him spot what Michael hoped to conceal. John, this resembles tool scars. See, these dents could be from earlier fix tries. Michael suggested fast. You know the drill. Someone DIYs. Worsens it. The fib flowed so fluidly, so naturally I nearly admired its boldness. Michael bet his family tie would outweigh proof, that none would think he'd purposely wreck his host's stuff. I'll check the vessel's upkeep guide, I said at last. See maker advice for this breakdown. What I truly needed was to view the safety cameras I'd added last month. High-res recordings showing precisely what Michael did and when. Want aid searching? Michael offered, I'm decent with tech. No thanks, I answered, forcing a grin. I know locations. He shrugged. Image of thwarted helpfulness. Whatever you deem best. Just aiming to contribute. As the family headed back to deck, Michael hung back a second, supposedly ensuring water off, but I caught him surveying the kitchen with the content air of one admiring his deed. Funny how these occur, he remarked casually. One moment fine. Next a fix bill. The hint was subtle but clear. This was merely the start. Michael had found he could harm my property freely, secure in family links shielding him from doubt. He was about to discover how wrong. I waited till the others settled topside, their talk floating through open ports. Then I slipped quietly to the steering station where safety controls hid behind a plain panel. Michael wanted games. He'd just tested someone playing pro while he still learned basics. The steering room nestled behind the main salon, a tight space packed with gadgets most visitors ignored. I entered softly, shutting the door with a quiet snap. The screens lit at a button press, their displays bathing the area in blue-white glow. 8 camera views showed the yacht's insides and decks in sharp high def. I'd installed the setup last month after harbor theft tales, a safeguard now yielding unexpected returns. My fingers danced over controls efficiently, rewinding to 3:50 p.m. The time mark read 15:50:23 when Michael entered on camera 3, covering visitor bath and kitchen. There he was, striding in with that casual surety I'd grown to detest. At first, his actions were normal. Opening doors, checking features with the entitled nosiness of one thinking all his... Then he neared the faucet. I leaned nearer the screen, watching Michael test the lever lightly. Water ran smoothly on, stopped neatly off. He knew it functioned. He knew no issue. What followed chilled my blood. Michael glanced doorward, ensuring solitude. Then he seized the faucet lever with both hands and yanked, not gentle use, but fierce twisting that shook the camera faintly from vibe. The time read 15:52:41. When he repeated, bracing foot on cabinet for pull, I saw his face plainly. The focus as he exerted max power. The faint grin of triumph when something snapped inside. He checked his work. Water pouring unchecked from the ruined fixture. Perfect. Just the mishap to shame his host and prove his view on shoddy lease gear. But Michael wasn't done. Camera 4 caught him rifling drawers, finding a cloth to wipe metal bits from his force. He even traced the faucet base, scanning for sabotage signs. The systematic tidy told all on Michael's nature. This wasn't spur. It was planned wreck to demean me before family. At 15:54:12, he backed to view his effort, that smug grin spreading like spill. He'd found ideal way to humble the uppity elder. Show folks like John Harrison couldn't truly afford luxes. I copied key clips to a drive, moves automatic while mind grasped Michael's full betrayal. This exceeded a busted faucet. It concerned respect, limits, the basic guest host pact. From dining came Michael's voice. Fake worried. Hope John's not struggling with that vessel issue. These aged leases can trick. Aged leases. He was crafting the tale, depicting me as fool leasing beyond means, expecting gear flaws. The irony would amuse if not so enraging. I popped the drive and pocketed it, its heft surprising for size. Proof, evidence, the sort turning claims to truths. Michael's voice drifted. Maybe I should check. Offer aid. The phony care in his pitch locked my jaw. He wanted aid. Sure. Aid to prime seat for my shame when I couldn't mend his mess. I dimmed screens and stood dark a moment, hearing water lap hull. 40 years business taught evidence sans tactic worthless. Michael supplied ammo. But I needed wise timing. Overhead steps said planning time short. I went quietly to tool storage, picking fine wrench kit and SIL from neat spots. My hands auto-gathered while mind churned memories. The harmed faucet mendable. C-parts built for worse than Michael's fit. But as I knelt by broken works, recalls surged of times I'd fixed for Michael and Emily. All issues solved with wallet and forbearance. Emily's grad tuition, $50,000 over 2 years. I'd penned those gladly. Proud of her MBA drive. Michael had seemed thankful, or acted it well. You're amazing. Mr. Harrison? He'd said, using formal that now felt distancing over respect. Their wedding. $30,000 gift. The sting fresh as I wrenched faucet base, I'd pushed to cover blooms. Shooter. Better venue. Every dad wants daughter's day flawless. I told Susan's photo that eve, wishing she'd seen Emily gowned. House deposit, $70,000. Just 2 years past when Michael's firm had temp cash snag. He'd sat in my plain kitchen, detailing how bigger deposit locked better loans. His modesty seemed real. Thanks profuse. This means the world. John. Promise no regrets aiding our future. The ruined part came free in my hands, showing Michael's willed harm. Bent metal where smooth should. Forced grooves never turning right again. Like our tie, I guess. Urgent auto fixes. 6,000. Emily's health costs. 4,000. New fridge when theirs failed. Endless holiday gifts. Birthday shocks. Anniversary meals I'd covered. The tally endless. Decade of bounty apparently buying only scorn. Each kindness meant Michael's rehearsed thanks. Vows he'd remember my aid. Yet here I knelt on my yacht floor, mending his spite damage. From above, Michael's voice, louder. Should we see on John, he's down long? Emily's reply muffled but fretful. Maybe fixed tougher than thought. Tougher all was tougher than appeared. The yacht they deemed leased, the wealth they thought absent. The man they saw as lesser? I fitted new seals, moves exact despite vain rage. This wasn't just cash, though tally staggering summed, nearly 160,000 direct aid over years, excluding minor acts, meals, presents. It was respect. The base hope kindness bred kindness. Bounty gratitude, not entitlement. Michael's steps neared stairs. Going to see if he needs hand. The faucet works clicked satisfyingly back. Water smooth on test. Better, actually. Sometimes harm forces stronger rebuild. John? Michael's voice bore false, helpful worry. All good down. I rose slowly, wiping hands on clean cloth while plotting next. Michael thought small win breaking my stuff. He had no clue he'd sparked war he was woefully unready for. There he is! Michael's voice rang with staged relief as I ascended from lower deck. We were getting concerned. How'd the mend go? He lounged in chair, arms folded, content. Same smug look from boarding. The concerned kin seeking pity for poor John's boat woes. The aged gear troubling you, he added with fake pity. I was telling all how lease firms skimp upkeep, likely ignored that Faucet years. I placed my device on dining table deliberately, eyeing Michael's face as I drew chair. Actually, Michael, I'd like specific on that Faucet. Me. His brows arched in played innocence. I'm no fixer. John, though I noted fixture seemed rusted when I washed hands before. Emily fidgeted. Dad, Michael just tried helping. He said water flow off yacht. Is that what I held tone even? Eyes on Michael's face because I'm keen on exact when you were there. Michael's grin held, but eyes flickered brief calc before act resumed. Like said, just used bath? Spotted faucet issue? But figured you'd handle? Robert coughed uneasy. John, maybe focus on tech call. Michael, I cut softly. Why did you purposely break the faucet? The words fell like stones in calm pond. Michael's laugh, late fraction, too loud. Break, John. What do you mean I didn't break? Dad, Emily's voice warned. Serious claim. Michael would never, wouldn't he? I took device, starting it steadily, because I have clips might interest all. Michael's surety-dipped moment. Micro worry before mask returned. Clips. What clips yacht has safety system? I said calmly, seeing his face pale. 8 cams. High def with sound. Very complete cover. The hush stretched taut. Michael's throat bobbed hard, swallow, but voice steady. Well, you'll see exact what I said. Used bath, noted problem. Came up, we'll see. I agreed. Opening video app. Let's view together. Elizabeth leaned anxious. John, surely needless. No, Robert said firm, his exec sense noting key event. Let's see Cam's show. I tapped screen to timestamp. 15:50:23. Michael showed clear entering bath with casual I'd loathed. There you are, I said casual. Saturday, June 17th, 3:50 p.m. Right after table leave. Michael's jaw tensed watching self on screen, but voice defiant. So see, I'm just using facilities. On screen. Michael neared faucet. Tested gently. Water perfect on. Clean off. Fixture flawless. Interesting. I noted. Faucet seems normal. Emily leaned closer screen. Brow knit. Don't get what we see. Keep watching. I suggested. Finger over play. Good part coming. Michael shifted seat. Earlier surety, cracking edges. This silly mountain from mole over plumbing, but eyes fixed screen. I saw a moment he recalled next. What Cam's caught. What pride forgot in vindictive joy. Timestamp here 15:52. I continued. Voice calm. Watch close. Video played crystal. 8 Cam's evidence about to shatter Michael's comfy lie world. On device screen. Michael door glanced. Alone confirmed. Then demeanor shifted. Gone normal pretense. This deliberate, planned ruin. Oh my God, Elizabeth whispered as we watched Michael grip faucet both hands, wrench violently side. Audio clear. Metal grind under force. Sharp snap when inside gave. Michael Roberts' voice whipped. What hell you doing on screen? Michael not done. Foot braced cabinet leverage. More force till valve snapped full. Water streamed, unchecked, broken. Emily's hand mouth. I don't. This can't. But no deny all saw. Michael stepped back. Handiwork, unmistakable content. Same smug smile, table return. Even finger along faucet base. Sabotage check. Timestamp 15:54. I said soft. You spent 4 minutes willful my property wreck. Michael's face chalk. There's explain. I tried fix when it fixed what Robert's voice deadly quiet. Footage clear worked perfect before touch. On screen, Michael wiping shavings cloth. Method clean sabotage evidence. Moves careful, practiced. One knowing done. Hide want. You even towel clean, I observed. Very thorough. Emily stared screen shock. Michael, how could this dad's lease? He'll pay damages. Irony her words shield me financial for own yacht damage amusing other circumstance. Michael's confident mask crumbled full. Not looks like. Tried help broke, panicked. Panicked Robert leaned. Voice heavy, disappoint. Son, we watched you purposeful destroy other property. No accident. No misread. Elizabeth dabbed eyes napkin. John, so ashamed. Don't know say Michael last desperate defense. Faucet defective obvious. Barely touched broke. These old vessels problems. Michael. I stopped video, turned device him. Want play again? Slow motion maybe? Count exact wrench times before break. Silence after deafening. Michael stared, frozen image screen himself act deliberate sabotage. Face clear content damage caused, I think. Robert said slow, voice thick disgust. We need discuss serious. Michael's last bravado snapped. Fine. Yes. Broke damn faucet. But blame me, John's acted yacht elite all day. Cash toss on leases can't afford. Make us feel small. Admission hung air poison. Even Michael shocked, said aloud. Emily stared husband like new. You did purpose hurt father teach lesson live means. Michael shot back. True self emerge no disguise. About not fake whatnot. Perfect lead. I closed device. Smiled first time day. Well, Michael. I said quiet. Speaking fake whatnot. Time discuss what you don't know situation. Michael's hands shook, lean forward chair. Try save dignity remains. Look, John may be carried away, but just minor fix lease boat. Things happen. Just minor fix. On lease boat words hung like sulfur post lightning. You're right. I said soft. Watch face careful. This understand what person vandalizes other property sport. Vandalizes Michael's voice cracked slight. Come, strong word. Frustrated. Maybe too force. But perspective keep. Talk weekend lease. Robert shifted uneasy seat. Son, all saw video. No excuse, Dad, please. Michael's mask slipped more each word. Mistake made. Okay, but John's act burned house. Leased yacht, insurance cover. Rich owners write business expense anyway. Rich owners. Irony perfect scripted. You keep say lease, I observed. Pick device aside, deliberate care. Seem very concerned financial for owner. Well, yeah. Michael straightened slight. Sense chance moral regain. Mean you obvious over budget. John, whole yacht fantasy. Not sustainable. Like you try play millionaire weekend. Sad. Emily winced, visible. Michael, don't... Someone like me, I repeated, soft. Look, no offense, but realistic, Michael warmed theme. Familiar arrogance creep voice. Retired what fixer-builder social security try impress boats can't afford. Embarrassing. Elizabeth gasped, audible. Robert's face, red shame. But Michael not finished. Guys like you not belong yachts. This belong rowboats? Maybe cruiser save. This, he gestured elegant salon. This people actual earned. Silence after absolute. Even water lap hull seemed to pause. What next? I stood slow, hand steady, voice calm and honest. Michael, I said, this my yacht. Words dropped, anvils, still water. Michael's mouth open, close, open, no sound. Emily's hand chest. Robert looked lightning struck. Yet what Michael's voice, bare whisper. My yacht, I repeated, clear. Bought April 3.5 million cash. Color drained Michael's face, quick thought faint. That's not possible. Tranquility registered my name. Coast Guard. Harbor my card file, monthly doc. Insurance me sole owner. I let each fact settle before continue. Purchased gift. Emily found voice first. Gift who I looked direct, Michael. Watch understand dawn eyes like sunrise graveyard. You husband? I said simple. Planned surprise today. Present lease first. Reveal yours keep. Sound, Emily made between sob gasp. Michael gone white. Mouthwork soundless. 3.5 million, Robert said slow. Voice thick. Horror dawn. You give them 3.5 million yacht, plus another 160,000 direct financial years, I added casual. Grad school, wedding, house deposit, various emergencies. Kept careful records? Michael finally voice. We no idea. No, I agreed. You no idea fixer mocked afternoon planned give yacht worth more most houses. Irony settled salon fog. Michael spent day sabotage mock. Very man intend make him millionaire. John, Elizabeth whispered. Tears eyes start. So sorry. But I still look, Michael. Watch process full magnitude arrogance cost. I corrected gentle. Was plan give yacht? Michael's face spectrum emotions. Shock. Disbelief. Calculation. Finally desperate panic, full implications hit. Wait, he said lurch forward chair. You said was plan. Doesn't mean I mean work out now, understand situation. Now understand situation, I repeated quiet. What exact understand made terrible mistake. No idea your yacht. John, if known owned. Treat respect. I let question hang air. But since thought poor retiree play above. Disrespect fine. Michael's mouth open close like fish gasp air. Beside. Emily stare hands. Finally start understand choice made husband father. That's not mean, Michael stammered. Just work stress, see spend much lease when what Robert interrupted voice sharp disappoint. When decided father-in-law need lesson place. Elizabeth dabbed eyes tissue. Michael. How could John nothing but generous family? No now? Michael's voice cracked, desperate. But fix. Right, pay Faucet mend? Hell, pay full kitchen redo. Put behind. I walked yacht large window. Look peaceful harbor. Other families enjoy boats. No sabotage, disrespect cloud afternoons. Faucet already mended. I said calm. Took 20 minutes. Sea fixtures built tough. Withstand deliberate abuse you inflicted. Then problem Michael's voice, note, desperate hope. No harm, no foul. Right problem. Michael, you revealed exact who are. When thought vulnerable, believed beneath, chose cruelty. That's not Faucet problem, and that's character problem. Emily finally look hands. Dad. No, Michael, wrong. But what? Dear, I asked gentle. But overlook deliberate sabotage, apologize after caught, but ignore years' subtle disrespect, promise better, now knows money. She no answer. None did. Yacht remains mine. I continued, gift offer permanent withdrawn. Michael, think best you Emily gather things leave. You can't serious? Michael protested. Over one stupid mistake, one stupid Robert's voice incredulous. Son, you deliberate vandalized man property after invite guest, spent afternoon mock belittle. Even now. More concerned lose gift, never knew than hurt caused. Michael looked table. Seek support not there. Even Emily couldn't meet eyes. Fine. He said final, stand abrupt. Come, Emily, let's out here. Emily stood slow. Look torn, follow husband, stay father. Dad, you made choice clear today. I said soft. Hope worth. As Michael Emily gathered belongings headed dock, Robert approached. John can't express ashamed son's behavior. If prefer us leave well. Absolutely not. I said firm. You Elizabeth show nothing respect, grace. Please stay. Let's enjoy rest, beautiful afternoon meant enjoyed. Through window. I watched Michael Emily walk pier parking. Michael gesture angry, while Emily silent. They looked small harbor backdrop. Diminished own choices. Elizabeth joined Robert in window. Think they're all right, Michael outfit. I said, men like always. As Emily. I sighed. She'll decide when build life someone destroys bridges spite. Robert poured 3 glasses wine bottle opened earlier. To character. He said simple. To character. Elizabeth, I echoed, as sun lowered horizon, painting water gold amber shades. I felt something not years. Perfect peace. Justice served not revenge, but natural consequences. Michael destroyed own inheritance own hands. Shore destroyed Faucet. Brass compass caught afternoon light one more, pointing true north always. If you enjoyed this tale of family, betrayal, and hard-earned wisdom, we'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What surprised you most about John's revelation, or how would you handle a situation like this? Your impressions mean the world to us. Feel free to ask questions too, drop them in the comments, and let's discuss more. Whether it's about the characters, the twists, or similar stories, we're here to chat and interact. Engaging with the channel helps us grow, so hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and turn on notifications for more inspiring narratives. To catch the next story, simply click the box on the left. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you being part of our community.